Hey, good morning, everybody. Mike Shea, your Florida business broker, and I am here with my daughter, Kira. And we had a quick video we did the other day on Etsy stores and her Etsy store, Buena Vida Clothing Company, and because of the limits of time and some SEO stuff, I wanted to limit it and bring her back for a second iteration. This time, she's going to talk about what is Etsy, how does it work, what you can sell on it. And then specifically about marketing, because if you watch the first video, she's monetized. And we're not talking tons of money here, but in 3 weeks, she's made, how much money have you made in 3 weeks?
About $800.
Yeah, $800 for a 17, 18-year-old passively on their first run is not a bad kickstart. So, and those are really, really good margins. And that's with all the screw ups and mistakes that we've made. So thank you for doing this again, Kira. And with that, I'm going to let you kind of run the floor, and I will kick in from time to time if you get off task or start rambling. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So what is Etsy?
Okay, so Etsy is a platform where you can sell pretty much anything, and they take minimal margins and kind of market it for you so that you don't have to do all of the work like with other platforms. So here you see my store. I have an array of different products just because that's what I wanted to do, but really Etsy could work for anybody. If you have something to sell, then you can pretty much sell anything. So
So why don't
here's a
you,
little bit
real,
about.
real quick, why don't you go to like Etsy, the main page, and show them what all is available out there on Etsy.
Okay, sure. So here's everything available on Etsy. This is what I mostly look up is face masks because I do sell a lot of face masks. So I try and look up competitors. But there's friendship bracelets. Let's just click on wall decor. You see a whole bunch of different things, mostly crafty, but you can really sell anything that you have. Um, Something cool about Etsy is you can sell digitally. So if you have like, say, a digital book or a digital wallpaper, you can sell that on Etsy. Um, so you don't have to ship it to them. It's just your digital product. So you just basically send them an email with the product. Um, so here, let's look up that. So digital prints. Yeah, so here are some digital prints. This I know because I make some of these. You make them on your iPad and basically just send it to people.
You want to scroll
Uh,
past the bad language there? Thank you.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, so you can basically sell anything that you have on Etsy.
Cool. All right, so let's go
Yes.
back to your store.
Okay, so here's my store. We opened this about a month ago and we already have 55 sales, which is pretty good. So I kind of wanted to go through when you're opening up the shop and like how that would work. So you go up to your shop manager because you've already set up a shop, and then you see your total views, your monthly or your visits for that day, and your orders. Um, you look at recent activities so people can favorite your shop and they can favorite different items, and that boosts your rankings up when people search your company or your different products. um, Etsy is really good about taking care of everything, so they take care of shipping. Once you've set up everything, they have different suppliers that go through shipping with you. um, Marketing, you can set up marketing plans with Etsy through Etsy ads and like coupons, and you can set up your social media with Etsy. So yeah,
Did
I
you
also
do,
have
did you do any of the social media advertising?
not through
Did-
Etsy. No, we don't pay for advertising.
Okay.
I just do it organically myself whenever I have time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have seen people do Etsy ads, and Um, I mean, they're okay though. Like when someone searches up what you want it to, like what you want your ad to show up on, it comes up first, which is a good thing, but it won't guarantee you sales.
So it's kind of
It's
like
easier just
they've created kind of like a Google AdWords where they've got a marketplace, and if you want to pop first in the search, you're going to pay them to pop up first in the
right.
search.
So I'll give you an example here. So um, our products show up first when you type in Visco, just because I've had it. Um, where is it? Oh, maybe it's not first anymore. Oh, it isn't. Okay, hold on. Whoops. That's what happens when you aren't active for a couple days. Um, okay, so here we go. Here is an example of, here's our face masks right here. These two that I'm scrolling
Right.
next to. And then this would be an example of an ad. These two, they don't really have anything to do with the Visco face masks, like especially this one, but they put out an ad that it shows up anytime you look up Visco. So it's automatically going to show up no
And
matter what you're searching.
you can tell the ads because the image is better, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
No. So
Right.
yeah.
So you decided to grow organically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. So Etsy, some really important things if you're growing organically is tags and what you label your product as. So here we go. I will take you through. So our most popular face mask right now is this polka dotted face mask right here. What Etsy does a really good job of is like ranking. Once people have looked at your item, it ranks it. So more people have looked at my product and put it in their carts. So I'm up further than most people.
Okay. So what you're telling people is they
So,
need to understand how the rankings, like what drives the authority of your
right,
product versus somebody else's, and rankings, impressions, how many times people have clicked it, purchases, and reviews are the things that drive your organic rankings on Etsy.
right. Also, what you name it, what your tags are, these are considered tags. So when people are
Similar.
searching,
So when you say tags, you mean hashtags. So
yeah.
explain hashtags because there's a lot of people who don't know what the heck a hashtag is.
Okay, so a hashtag is something you can use on social media and different websites that links your photo or your product to that hashtag. So a lot of kids, or I wouldn't say just kids, but people who are on social media and different sites, they'll look at hashtags and they'll follow hashtags. So your photo or product is going to come up even if they aren't following like you. They're going to be following the hashtag, so your product's going to come up on their feed,
Right.
which
So
is really important to use hashtags in that
so,
way.
so in layman's terms, if we're looking at your third one over there, face masks, literally the way you wrote it, or face mask colleges or kids masks, those are search words that people use when they're on the Etsy site to find something. So you're putting into the content of the ad or the
Yeah.
listing itself those words. So when the search happens, it finds them.
So when someone looks up cute kids face masks, my product is going to come up.
Right.
Or
Because you've got
cute
the
adult face masks, my
right.
product is going to come up.
Got it. So that's how hashtags work in the Google logarithm or on Instagram or on Facebook. The same principle applies here.
Right.
Okay. So how you write your listings matter.
Right.
And okay.
How you label it, how you use your tags, and you make sure you go through every so Etsy, you can be as specific as you need to be or as big as you need to be, but I suggest you be more specific because people are looking for more specifics when they're buying your product.
Right. Got it.
So when you're going through Etsy, the engine I use automatically puts my products into Etsy, but it doesn't fill out the tags and
What's an engine?
So the engine I use is Printify to do my products.
Okay, so that's those are the people who make your stuff.
Right.
Okay.
When I make a product, so my store, here are all my products. When I make a product, it automatically transfers into Etsy.
Okay. So they're synced up. They're
They,
linked up.
right. They're linked up. So um, I don't have to do anything, but I do have to go back in and put the tags in so that the products do better and they are more seen.
Okay. Got it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So boom, that's how Etsy works. So you create your store, which is literally a one step. If you went to, hey, I want to create a store on Etsy, you type that into Google, it'll go to the actual page. I actually created a store. I don't have anything there, but it took me about 3 minutes. Boom, the store gets built, and then you start picking who your suppliers are, and you got to do some research on that. And ideally, to save yourself time, you want someone who's already got that back end platform figured out where they're already syncing up and self-populating the listing detail, and then you go in there and tune it up a little bit with better hashtags, right?
Right.
Bam, got it. All right, so next steps for people who want to, use Etsy. How do they market it?
So on Etsy, those tags are super important. That's like my number. So here, let me show you guys. Leave page. So you see right here, total views. That's how many people have viewed my products. Visits is how many people have visited my store. So
Are those unique visits or every time someone clicks on your store?
it's unique visits.
Okay.
Okay, so here, where is it? Stats. Etsy breaks it down for you so you can see specifically like how well you're doing each month or like every 30 days. Like if you want to know like this year, it'll give you a breakdown of certain things like visits and orders, conversion rates, revenue. It'll break it down all for you. So then it shows you how shoppers found you. So they can either find you through the Etsy app, Etsy search, or Etsy marketing. I didn't do anything with Etsy marketing. SEO is what we talked about with the tags and the titles and all that. So 19 people found me just based on how I worded the title. So that's 55% of my traffic. Meanwhile, the other 40.
Yeah, so let's stop there. Like you just spent a good 3 or 4 minutes talking about why it's important to write your copy for your ad title. Really, really important. When you look at all the numbers of people who have looked at your stuff, it's practically nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So
right.
As we're going through this, there, Etsy app, and other Etsy. So 523 people on the Etsy app found you from the Etsy app, typing in the proper keywords. Hey, I want
that I put into the products.
Cute kids masks. Bam. Etsy search. They're going to Etsy organic and they're typing into the search bar, I want some masks, and you popped up. Etsy marketing SEO is like just you don't pay for any Etsy marketing.
Right. Etsy did that on itself.
Right. Etsy's SEO was just the authority of the way you wrote your copy. The other column is important. I want you to spend some time talking about where the other stuff came from, the social media, the direct and other traffic, because you add that up, that's like 700. That's half basically versus the other half.
Right. So Etsy, again, does a really good job of explaining where everything came from and who came from where. So direct and other traffic, let's just look and see where it all came from. So it shows you the most visited listings based off of that traffic, which is the Black Trans World mask.
Yeah.
And it literally just breaks it down for you. So Sydney.troll.com had 20 visits. Buffalo. It breaks it all down so that you know where everything came from.
So for the people who are watching this, go back up, scroll down. Obviously I work for Transworld, and obviously I went to Providence College. So you made a connection as a business person with Dad and said, hey, I'm going to, now this is, And to the people out there who are the moms who are about to start a store, or there's a business owner who's about to store, your social network is super, super important. So forget the fact that she's my daughter. She went to someone who was quote unquote an influencer within certain categories, created products that were effective to them so that they could push it through their network. So we created a black Transworld mask. We created a Transworld mask. We created a Providence College mask. Scroll down, Kira. So we made 3 things for me. And then this is where this is important. Scroll down. I want to show them these traffic site breakdowns. So Sydney, Buffly, and LinkedIn. Sydney is the internal CRM URL, the customer relationship management platform inside my company, and 20 people, and we have about 260 offices. So not every agent goes out there and looks at it, but I slapped it on there one day, and it was only up there about 10 minutes, and it got 20 hits. Buffly is my buffer. It's my social media management tool. And then LinkedIn was obviously LinkedIn, where I posted some masks there. And, you know, so it's important for the people who are looking at this. Hey, I created an Etsy store. Etsy's got its organic platform for shopping, but then you've got to, and you haven't spent any advertising dollars on Etsy. You went social media.
I think originally when I first started, I spent about $10 on Instagram ads, but it didn't do anything for my Etsy store. Just did some stuff for my Instagram.
Right. But you went direct to social media, which is free, and social connections, which is free, and that's how you pushed a bunch of your sales.
Right.
Right.
And I would say, because when I first started, I was scared to tell people about the shop just because it was mine. And I know a lot of people go through this because I had a friend and we talked about it a little bit. She started a shop and she was afraid to tell me that she started a shop because she didn't want, because it's like her designs and she did all of it and she didn't want people to judge it. And I understand that, because at the start of this, I didn't really tell anyone that I was doing it, and I didn't really tell my friends about it. But once I started doing that, they started posting it on their stories and their Instagram pages, which generated more organic marketing for me that I didn't have to pay for. So, and then you're getting kind of like reliable sources kind of promoting your shop.
Let's talk about the self-judgment thing. Everybody, doesn't matter if you're an 18-year-old girl with a face mask store or a 50-year-old business broker, everybody's afraid of putting content on the internet and being judged.
Right.
And I know, as my daughter, you've heard me say, why do you care what people think of, people you don't even like, what they think about you, right? And have some perspective. There's billions and billions of people out there, and 99.9% of them don't judge. And if someone has that much hate in their heart, they're going to judge. You don't need them in your life anyways. But the reality is that people are voyeuristic in what they do, and they observe this stuff anyway. So, what you're doing right now, having this call, is providing good information, showing people how to do something, which is going to direct traffic back to your store. You're doing something for other people, but there's let's not forget, we're in the business of sales. We're trying to drive traffic back to our store to generate stuff. And then you're going to go back and look at the data and go, hey, these people came from where? And hopefully, in a month or 2 months, we're going to go down and look at this and see it's coming from a YouTube channel, right? And they're going to go, oh, okay, there's a connection, there's a source, and we can move people to buy stuff from YouTube. So distribution of the content on the platforms is important. So that's a good segue. What are the distribution points or platforms you use to market?
So
I know you got Instagram.
Yes, I use Instagram. I started using Instagram first, just because Instagram is what I know, and I have an Instagram personally, and I know other businesses that have an Instagram that were similar to mine, so that's what I made originally. Then as I started doing more research, I found that Pinterest and TikTok were the big marketing draws. So I started a Pinterest and a TikTok not too long ago, a couple of days ago actually, and I already have 24,000 followers on Pinterest and about 600 followers on TikTok with about 2,000 likes. Meanwhile, on my Instagram, we're not seeing that much traffic. I'm getting maybe 10 likes a post, just not nearly as much volume as before. So if I do have a tip, make sure that you have a Pinterest, because Pinterest is kind of like TikTok in that it's like new to marketing, but a lot of people who have an Etsy shop are starting to use it just because it's such a great tool, and so many people are on it constantly because I'm always on Pinterest. So
All
I
right.
was
So
like, why
hold
don't
on.
I make one?
So hold on a second. And so if anybody's watching this and you know, you want to go find out who, like demographically, who is on what platforms, just type in, you know, demographics for every social media platform into your Google search bar, and then go to the pictures, and all these graphics are going to pop up with Pinterest is this age group, this gender, you know, and they're on there at such and such an hour. So the data,
Right.
like how to do the marketing analytics on what platforms to be on, is all over the place. Interestingly enough, if you scroll down and you look at those three SEO bars, the internal CRM database for Transworld, and then Buffly was, you know, going to Facebook, and all the Providence sales, and we did how many Providence masks?
I'd say about 10 to 12.
10 to 12, 10 to 12, $13 a pop, bam, bam, bam. They all came through Facebook Messenger. I went to my alumni group, I posted it in there, and I posted it to Twitter, and, you know, used a hashtag for Providence College basketball, PCBB, and orders happened, you know, by putting the mask out there. So, you know, the people who are creating the store is one thing, but you have to sell. I'm sure
Right.
that was that your sister who just walked by you? Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's show them your Instagram and let's show them your TikTok.
Oof. I don't I don't think I have mine. So I don't even know if I have
I
mine.
do. You want me to share it?
Yeah, share it. Go ahead and share it.
Hold on a second. Where is your Instagram? Let me go back to the Zoom call. Zoom, 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 zoom. Me singing. I forget I'm online here. There it is. All right. So this is Kira's Instagram. She's got 999 followers, 949 followers, and she only has 39 posts. So
Right.
tell me how did you get all the followers and the likes, and tell people why followers and likes are important, and how you leverage hashtags to get people to go to your page.
Okay, so you basically, how I kind of drummed up the followers was by using hashtags and more aesthetically pleasing photos, because the more professional your photos look, the better. I don't take any of my photos. I use an app through Canva.
Okay.
It's called Canva. I actually made that in Canva. You just copy paste and then you can post it. So that I actually made, that I actually colored.
What is that? Is that where everyone's bought?
That is, yeah. So every time I get a sale from a state, I color in the lines using our store's colors, like the color scheme that we're going for. So yeah, every time, I haven't updated it recently. We have a lot more states. But yeah, that's where all the states came from.
So this is important for somebody who's got a retail store. So, you know, imagine being a retailer right now and COVID hits, right? So here's a little girl who has created a store, and she sold product as far away as Washington, Texas, you know, not Nevada, North Dakota, Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland, Alabama. You've got people buying stuff all over the country. So if you're a retailer and you were trying to leverage hashtags to put your product out there on the, you know, in the world and keep your retail store alive, you have the ability to expand, because retail is all about location, and that location is limited to, you know, the boulevard people walk down. But now through a simple platform like this, you're able to drive sales all around the country.
Yeah.
And I think your little brother's walking around behind you too without any attempt to hide him.
Yeah. Etsy also sorry, Etsy also, you can ship internationally. It just costs a little more, but yeah. So we haven't shipped any internationally yet, but you have the option to do that.
And
I
let me
don't
ask you
think
a
I've set up
question.
the option.
How did you pick up on the subtlety of putting the colors of your brand into the images? Did someone tell you to do that, or did you just understand it?
Um, I really, as a teen girl, a lot of teen girls talk about how your feed on Instagram has to all be the same and kind of flow. And it really started with influencers. They all use about the same color scheme so that their Instagram kind of subconsciously draws more people because they're like, oh, I like how this flows and how
Right. So
the
you're
colors
just
are.
what you're articulating is brand integrity.
Yeah.
Um, when you get off to college, take your marketing class. I would hope that at some point they talk about consistency in colors and brands. Um,
Hmm.
I was at Pepsi, and Pepsi was fanatical about maintaining the integrity of the brand and the logo.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola does the same thing. There's subliminal, you know, impact and impression hits that colors, attract certain people and give a
Right.
certain feeling. And a brand does give a certain feeling. Even the shape of a brand can give a certain feeling. So, um, you know, everything I do has green and gold, and green's about
Right.
money, right? There's a mental psychology behind why you picked it, and kudos to you for picking up on that. You may not have articulated it the same way I did, but you nailed it. That you were
Yeah.
consistent in colors. So lesson learned to a retailer: if you have a certain set of colors, those colors should be consistent with what the customers want, the masses that they like. If you like, if you're selling cute face masks and girls, cell phone cases, and you like black and white Metallica, like you're a freako and you love the Metallica colors, you're probably not going to get a lot of traction if you set your color. You can do it. It's just not
Yeah. You just have to think of a way to do it in a way that teen girls are going to
right. Well, they're
appreciate.
not. They're not. Like, you don't like Metallica, Kira. So
Yes, but if you put it in like polka dots and cute
you're
little
right, but
design.
I would tell you that what I'm trying to tell people is, as you're picking colors and branding and you're setting up your Etsy store, it needs to do what the customer wants, which goes on to a
Right.
conversation we had in the last video. The products that you sold in the beginning, this stuff nobody liked,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Now you found stuff, and you've shifted, and we've seen an evolution of the product line from what Kira liked to how it's moved into shifted into stuff that the customer likes. And that is all too often forgotten by people. Um, so message is, make sure your branding colors, even the sounds, are consistent with the message you're trying to deliver. Okay,
Right.
so you use a lot of hashtags. Do you put hashtags into the copy up here too?
No,
No,
you
just in your
can, but I don't.
just in the posts, right?
Just in post. Yeah.
Right, and then you'll even put them into the comments after you've made the post, right?
No, I don't, but I know people that do.
Right,
Because
and
Instagram again isn't as important as the other platforms that I talked about. So
right.
I
Do you do
mostly
any
just use that just to keep up.
do you do any hashtag piracy? Like drop into a feed on a hashtag that's trending? Like,
No. I know you can, but I don't no.
okay. Like, well, you did in effect when you did the Providence, when you gave me the Providence mask. And so for everyone out there who's watching this, hashtag piracy is when you take a hashtag that a group uses. So like, I follow Providence College basketball. Anytime anybody across the world wants to say something about Providence College basketball, we put PCBB, hashtag PCBB. So when I posted your mask in there, it was in a feed where the coaches and the athletic director and all the fanatics were talking about the season coming up. I just dropped in the masks into that feed, and it hit impressions. People saw it, and it drove a couple
Right.
sales as a function of it. So that's what hashtag piracy is. So say you create a UCF mask, right? And UCF decides to say, hey, we're going forward with our football season. There's that announcement. That'll be trending in the local market. You can hop
Right.
into the hashtag, no matter what you're selling, and get your product in front of people,
Right.
right? And you won't offend people. People actually know what you're doing.
Right.
So, okay. So I'm gonna give you back and let you do TikTok. Do you have TikTok on your computer?
No, I don't think you can.
Oh, but I do. I got it on my phone. 'Cause I pulled up
So
your
that's embarrassing, but I'll talk
no,
about it.
because you actually. Why did you do it? Like why did
So,
you do? Like I've got.
please don't.
And that video has like 952 likes and 51 comments.
Right.
And then your other one, 769. You talk about owning the store.
Yes. Yes.
And you know, for
Okay.
the adults out there, we all know what TikTok is. We know Trump banned it, but you were putting your product and stuff. Did you get any sales from TikTok? Has anyone gone from
I
TikTok?
don't. I don't.
Now,
I don't.
do you have people who got aware of it, aware of your store?
Oh, definitely people that have been aware of it.
Like your people
Yeah.
local who didn't know you created. Like you didn't tell anybody you were doing an Etsy store. You just did it and posted, and then they saw it.
Right. I didn't tell people originally around my area or my friends or anything that I was doing an Etsy store. Then I posted it on my Instagram because I was like, okay, I kind of, hopefully my friends will like follow it because
Right.
I need more followers. So I posted it. They didn't because I didn't know that I made it. I just posted it on my story. And then it kind of, when I was talking to my friends, they're like, oh, why did you post that company? Why are you, like, it just drummed up conversation and people were pressing on a link and you can just see those analytics just from Instagram. But yeah, my friends, like when I started, they didn't know. And then, which is why I go back to the point of telling your friends about your Etsy shop or whatever you're doing, will drum up business and conversation, even if
Yeah.
you are scared.
Which in marketing terms is called engagement, which you
Yes,
want.
thank you.
And don't be afraid. Well, no, you're saying it, and I'm just
Yeah,
translating it to. So there's going to be some 40 and 50 and 30-year-old people who don't have any clue about this or are watching this, and you're
yeah,
going, yeah, I was afraid to do it. Everybody is.
yeah,
That's universal.
yeah,
And you're saying, look, do it and share it, and you never know where the sales come. That's how serendipity kind of works. You don't
right,
know how, you know, here I posted that to, I sent the direct message to everybody in Providence College that is a friend of mine. Some of them I haven't talked to in 30 years, and several of them bought stuff from me.
yeah,
So, you know, because they needed the product and they liked the product.
right,
How the connection was made, don't worry about it. It happened, right? And that's
yeah,
the beauty of the system that people have to appreciate.
right.
Okay, so what's the best social media platforms for people to use?
The best. Okay, so the best social media platform for you to use is, there's two, and you have to use them together. So first of all, TikTok. You have to make a TikTok because there are so many people on there that like they're gonna see your, because of the For You page, which I don't know if people know what the For You page is, but
Go
um,
ahead and explain it, and then I'll translate.
so TikTok, when you hashtag For You page on your videos, like we talked about the hashtags, it puts you on their main homepage of people you either don't follow or don't know who they are, and they've picked the photos to be on that For You page. So getting on the For You page drums up more activity on your page. So just like making those videos and putting the For You page on them, you'll drum up activity through that. So one, use TikTok and make the videos. It doesn't really, just keep making videos. It doesn't matter if you only get 1 like or 0 likes. You just have to keep making. The more you make, the more you'll see engagement and the more followers you'll get because people will follow you just because.
Right. So let's translate that to the 40 and 50-year-old mom who doesn't use TikTok and thinks it's stupid.
Right.
First principle is platforms evolve, they change. So 20 years ago or 15 years ago when Facebook was, oh, it's for kids, I still hear that. And you only got Facebook because I forced you to in light about a month ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. because now you have a business where you're selling to people across a wide swath, and your grandmother like lives on Facebook,
Yeah.
right? And by the way, she scrolls really slow, right?
Yeah.
So it's making an impression very slow. It's, you know, um, what you're referring to on the For You page is organically TikTok hasn't figured out how to monetize yet. So it's just trying to get as wide a body. Their business model is to grab as many people onto the platform so they can later sell advertising. 6 months ago, there was no advertising on TikTok. Now, when you open up your TikTok app, there's an ad that pops up
Right.
away. So they're in the business of selling ads. Okay. And what's happening is kids are telling jokes and laughing and, you know, doing voiceovers like you did right there to promote whatever product, and people watch it and follow. And
Yeah.
if you put the hashtag For You and you just keep pumping out content, it's going to get out in more and more people's. And it's just like shotguns. You're
Right.
shooting to as wide a swath of people as humanly possible to put your product in front of them to get them to buy. If you're lucky, they follow, and then it connects. And the algorithm in TikTok is smart enough to know what you like and don't like. So as you like stuff, your feed changes over time.
Right.
So it's going to start deciding. The system is deciding what you want. Now you can freak out about the intelligence, but that's the way that's all the platforms do it, and they
Right.
all evolve into an advertising platform eventually. So TikTok's just the latest, and then they'll go the way of Instagram. You already told me that Instagram's going down. Where 2 years ago, Snapchat was the thing. Now it's gone.
And now no one uses Snapchat.
Now,
Really.
now no one uses, so it changes so fast. So if you have an Etsy platform you're trying to sell, you have to pay attention to. Think of it this way: social media is the storefront. You have to have the signs in the storefront to sell to people to get them inside the store. The store is Etsy itself, the physical footprint with the clothes, the toys, the sports gear. The
Yeah.
window is the social media platforms where you're putting your product out there and people can see it as they're walking down the boulevard. The boulevard is their stupid phone they're staring at 24/7.
Right.
Right. Okay. So do TikTok, do Instagram, do Pinterest.
Yes. So what I was saying, let me go back to what I was saying.
Go
So
back.
when you're using TikTok, by using those trending songs and those trending hashtags and the trending searches and the trending, like just the trends itself, like you'll see on TikTok, if you scroll through your For You page, you'll see there's trends, and there's like you'll see the same song and the people doing the same things because that's a trend. So by doing those trends and by using the songs that are trending, you have a lot higher possibility of getting on that For You page and getting more followers. So I'm done with TikTok. TikTok's good. Take the videos you've made in TikTok and put them into Pinterest. Pinterest, when you make a pin, it won't drum up much activity. When you put your videos into Pinterest, it drums up a lot of activity. So when I was just putting in pins to Pinterest, I had 14 followers. All of them being the people that were that were already following my Pinterest.
Lunchtime at the college. All right.
Yeah. So once I started putting the videos in, I've put about 3 videos in, and I have 28,000 followers on Pinterest.
Right. So translation, and this goes for all search engine optimization.
I don't think it needs a translation. I put it in
You made
layman's
it pretty clear,
terms.
but they need to understand videos work. So videos work on YouTube for SEO.
Mm-hmm.
Videos work for your homepage. If you have a website out there and you don't have a video on it, you're not going to rank it organically. You have the nicest pictures in the world, but videos have higher organic ranking qualities, and the search engines look at them. They give them more authority than they do videos. Conversely, when they're shared. So what's happening on TikTok is the TikTok's getting liked, right? Pinterest is looking at the organic. And by the way, Pinterest impacts your SEO for your, your business website. So if Kira had a Buena Vida closing Shopify store someday, right? And she had all these other social media plays, that's driving the organic. So when someone goes to Google and types in, hey, I want to buy, a face mask, college sports face mask, bam, it's all having this organic impact to it. And that applies to no matter what business you're in.
Right.
Cool. Got it. All right. What else do we have to share to make people smart?
I don't know. Here, let me look at the list. There was something, I just forgot about it.
I had marketing, Instagram. You don't do any Twitter. You probably should. You
Eh,
don't. You don't do any affiliate marketing. You probably should.
meh, meh.
What does it cost to run a store? How much does it cost to put a piece out? What's the costs associated with Etsy?
Okay, so Etsy is really good about not taking all your money. There's different platforms like Redbubble or something, that's for different artists, kind of the same thing that I do, that I plug in different patterns and it makes the products. Etsy's good about not taking all your money. So the margins are really good. So if I wanted to put a listing up of something, it's 20 cents just to put that one listing up, which I know adds up over time, but
It's
you
cheap.
get the, yeah, it's pretty cheap for what other um so 20 cents to put up the listing. You send that to Etsy. Shipping. You have to list what shipping costs. You take care of shipping. Um
I mean,
so
you just
like
bundle it into your cost. That's all.
what?
You just bundle it into the cost. It's factored in.
Yeah, if you have free shipping, you kind of have to bundle it into the cost, but also you can manually put in your shipping into Etsy so it applies what it'll cost you to ship it out or what the company that you're supplying through will cost to ship it out, so you don't have to deal with the headache of um, paying for shipping. You know what I mean?
Got it.
I made a mistake of not really understanding how shipping works when I first started. So when we got our first order, I listed it for like $2 or $3 something because I didn't realize that it was going to be $4.50 to ship. So I ended up losing money on our first order because I didn't do the research on what Etsy was doing with shipping.
Yeah, and you also common mistake of most people who do any type of shipping is they always think what they're doing is too expensive.
Yeah,
Always. So there's a ratio out there called the 30-30-30, right? You should,
yeah,
here's your cost, then you should mark it up 30%, and then you should add another 30% on top of that, and that way you always flip it. The reality is that, and then we see this in brick and mortar retail stores where they don't factor shipping in correctly.
right.
Um, and you know, they also don't factor even their fixed overhead. Like, oh, I'm selling a shirt for, customer A walks up and says, oh, this is ridiculously expensive. Well, customer A is always going to think everything's expensive.
Yeah,
And you have your costs, and you're in the business of making money, period. You have to
but you
charge.
also have to be competitive on
Right.
Etsy
And you have to,
because
what's
other
good.
people are selling the same thing here.
Right. And you have to get to their economies of scale. So like you were trying to sell crop tops and tights and you couldn't get any traction. So you quickly pivoted. Like, don't be evangelical about
Right,
your product line, and don't be evangelical about your pricing. If the other guy can buy in volume and lose money, and he's got a different business strategy because he's got another source of income, you can't fight that fight, right?
right.
I mean, it's not about fair, it's not about right. And we see that all the time where people will have a different cost structure and can afford to make bad decisions because the customers don't understand or they don't perceive the value. But the customer gets to decide what's valuable and not. So
Right.
you learned, oh, screwed that up. Won't make that mistake a second time. Let me get shipping under control and let me shift my product line so I can get some sales. Right?
Yeah.
Got it.
Right.
So what are the other costs? That's it?
So of so the 20 cents, then you take care of shipping, and then I think there's fees in there somewhere, but you don't pay the fees. The people who are buying your product pay the fees. So the only thing you're paying to Etsy is that 20 cents
What about sales tax?
per product. The sales tax, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I am, but I can look. Hold on. Let me look.
Yeah, I don't think they pay sales tax. I think Etsy pays the sales tax, but
Yeah, I don't think I do either, but let me check because I want to be correct.
yeah. So here's how that works. So there's if you're out there running stores, sales tax has become an issue as people want to go after people's money. I'm not going to get political here, but there was a time you could sell online and pay no sales tax. Like the sales tax in Orlando is different than the sales tax in Georgia, is different than the sales tax in New York and New Jersey. and even sometimes in cities, different, there's incremental taxes. So who pays what and how it's paid is up for debate nationally. And so if you're running an Etsy store or any e-commerce store, you got to check with your CPA to see who's paying what taxes. Okay.
Yeah, I do not pay a sales tax, but I do have transaction fees, but it's really
That's
small.
probably where it's bundled. Etsy's
Yeah,
probably paying the taxes and they're bundling it up and factoring it over a volume number.
yeah. So I've made about $800, and Etsy's taken 30 of that, $30.
And the rest is all profit.
Yeah,
Okay.
not bad. But
And
I also, if you are making your own product and you're shipping out your own product, I don't make my own product, so I'm taking home less than if I were making my own product. But at the same time, I'm not going through the hassle of shipping out things and manually making it.
right,
So,
right. You're basically brokering. You're just logoing it and brokering it.
mhm.
Okay. So, thank you for doing this. It'll be helpful if people need to get a hold of you or check out your store. How do they do that?
Well, if they want to check out my store, they can look me up on Etsy, sorry, at Buena Vida Clothing Company with no spaces, because Etsy doesn't like spaces. So don't put a space if you're looking for me. And then if you just want to contact me, you can contact me through the Etsy store, or you can contact me on Instagram or Pinterest at Kira Shea or Buena Vida Clothing Company. Either one.
Super. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate
Of
it.
course.
Yep. Bye.
Of course. Bye.